Dear learners of William Shakespeare, attention please. I'll be explaining William Shakespeare's drama, The Merchant of Venice. This is a very famous drama by William Shakespeare. This is, in fact, a tragic comedy. So to say, this drama is by William Shakespeare. This is by William Shakespeare. This drama is divided into 5 acts and into total 20 scenes. So to say, Act 1, Scene 1 is divided into 3 scenes. Act 2, Scene 2 is divided into 9 scenes. Act 3 is divided into 5 scenes. Act 4 is divided into 2 scenes. And Act 5, the concluding act, consists of only 1 scene. Thus, the whole play has been divided into 20 scenes, and you will see the whole play consists of 19 lines. This is a very voluminous drama. I'll be explaining the lines from Act 1, Scene 1. I'll be trying to cover some lines and I'll be trying to continue explaining in the subsequent videos. I'll keep up the continuity of the lines in all my videos. In Act 1, Scene 1, the main characters as you come across are Antonio, Bassanio, Salarino, Salanio, and Lorenzo. This scene has taken place in one of the streets of Venice. Here, I feel something very important to impart, that this whole drama has taken place in only 2 places, prominent places. One is Venice and the other is Belmont. Most of the scenes have taken place in Venice, very few in Belmont. The major scenes have taken place in Venice. Almost all the scenes except the court scene have taken place in the streets of Venice. This is a very typical drama. The ultimate name of this drama is a street drama. Street. It can be elicited from this statement that the drama is as open as the street. Let's go into the lines of the play. As a first character, Antonio appears. In the subsequent part, you'll see that Antonio is a very important character a hero-like character, Antonio is found sad, petrified, and depressed. That invites a deep concern of all his friends. All his friends. Hey, please see the lines. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. It wearies me. It wearies me. You say, it wearies you. In sooth, really, as a matter of fact, I know not, I don't know why I am so sad. This is typical of Antonio. Antonio admits that he is sad, but he doesn't know why he is sad. Thereby, William Shakespeare has kept the readers in confusion that the character himself announces, admits that he is sad, but he doesn't know why he is sad. Is there any mystery about it? And that mystery might explode into a great event in the drama. It worries me. It troubles me. That feeling of sadness, the inner feeling of sadness troubles me. You say it worries you. Antonio says this to Salarino and Salanio. They approach Antonio for an informal friendly meeting. But how I caught it. I happened to be sad. I found it. What's the reason behind being sad? Or came by it. Happened to be sad. How I happen to be. Antonio says, what stuff it is made of? What is the content or reason of my being sad? Whereof it is born? Whereof of what origin? For the reason behind such emotion or feeling, I am to learn. I am to find out. It sounds quite typical, mysterious, that the person who is sad doesn't know why he is sad. For the reason behind his being sad. Only he feels that he is sad. He has an inner feeling of sadness, but is subconsciously sad, not conscious, but subconsciously sad. And such a want with sadness makes of me such a want with sadness. Such a sadness, wanting in wit, wanting in reason or logic. Yes, that is speaker Antonio is without any logical standpoint why he is sad. That's why he calls it want wit. A sadness, wanting in wits, in reason, in logic, want wit. A compound word, sadness makes me that I have much ado to know myself. Much trouble to know myself. Since it is a witless sadness, so Antonio calls it a trouble for him to find out the reason behind it. Going over to Salarino, what he speaks. Your mind is tossing on the ocean. Your mind is tossing on the ocean. Salarino screens out some of the possible reasons why Antonio feels sad. Reflecting it, he says, your mind is tossing on the ocean. You are too much worried about the ocean. Ocean what? In fact, it is, he meant to say, Antonio is a royal merchant. He has a number of ships, about 6 ships. All his ships have set sail to different harbors and ports on business, on merchantry. That's why Antonio is worried about the safety or safe return of his ships, his profit in the business. That's why he says, your mind is tossing, moving over the ocean. You are too much worried about your ships that have sailed in the ocean. There where your Argos is with portly sail, there in the ocean, in the sea, your Argos is, your big ships with portly sails, big sail, thick piece of cloth that is hung from the mast, top of the mast, so as to arrest the wind force. And at that time, ships used to sail with the force of the wind. This is how Salarino describes Antonio's ships as Argoses with portly sail, like signiors, gentlemen, and rich burghers, rich citizens on the flood. Flood refers to deep sea. Symbolically, flood refers to the society, human society. In a human society, as gentlefolk and citizens accumulate a very important and respectable position in the society, so are Antonio's ships in the sea among other small ships. Hence the comparison. Or, as it were, the pageants of the sea. Further, Salarino describes Antonio's Argoses or big ships as the decorated carts. Why carts? In the 16th century, all gentlemen used to move from one place to another on the horse carts, and those carts pulled by horses, are decorated with flowers and such other things. Similarly, Antonio's ships were as gorgeous and decorative as those carts that used to carry gentlefolk. Do overwhelm the petty traffickers. Do Antonio's ships surpass or sail ahead petty traffickers. Petty traffickers mean small ships in the sea that courtesy to them. That means those petty traffickers show respect to Antonio's Argoses as common folk or common people show respect to the gentlefolk in the society. So do the petty traffickers to Antonio's ships in the sea. Do them reverence, respect, as they fly by them with their woven wings means cells. When Antonius Agos's sail past the petty traffickers, the small ships in the vast ocean, those small ships pay respect to, give way to, give place to, or give way to Antonius Agosich. Thus, a Salarino makes a high praise of Antonius' ships, and thereby he explores that Antonius' origin of feeling sad, depressed, and petrified is nothing but his too much worriness about the and safety of his ships and profit in his business. Here I end today's teaching lesson. I'll be explaining the subsequent lines in my subsequent video. Thank you.